Hi, hello, and welcome to another session on analog and digital communication. In today's session, we'll see the digital pulse modulation technique, which is the PCM, that is the pulse code modulation and demodulation. So let's get started. So here, pulse code modulation, it is a technique which converts an analog signal into its digital form. So analog signal is taken as input and it produces a digital signal at the output. So output of the PCM modulator has only two states, which is high or low, that is 1 or 0. After the demodulation, the original analog signal can be obtained. So this PCM is done in 3 steps. The first one is the sampling, second is the quantization, and the third one is the encoding. So we'll see how the pulse code modulation is done. So you can see the block diagram of a pulse code modulation. So we have a low pass filter, sample and hold circuit, a Q level quantizer, a binary encoder, which is also the digitizer. Then we have the parallel to serial converter. We also have a timer which provides synchronization between the various circuits. So the output of this PCM generator is the digital signal, which is in the form of ones and zeros. So if you see the first block, we have a low pass filter. The input signal is an analog signal which is fed as input to the low pass filter. So this low pass filter is used to remove any noise which is present in the signal. Then we have a sample and hold circuit. So the analog signal, which is free of noise coming out of the low pass filter, is passed through a sample and hold circuit. So this sample and hold circuit, what does it do? It will convert the continuous signal into samples. So it will generate samples from the analog continuous signal at equal intervals of time. So at the output of the sample and hold circuit, we have a signal X of NTS. Here N refers to the number of samples, TS is the sampling interval or the sampling time. So at the output of the sample and hold circuit, we get samples of equal duration, and the duration is at 1 TS, 2 TS, 3 TS, and so on. So then we have a Q level quantizer. The purpose of the quantizer is to round up the amplitude values of this signal X of NTS to its nearest integer form. Suppose the input of this Q level quantizer, suppose the value of a sample is 1.2. So this quantizer, what does it do? It will round up this 1.2 value to the nearest integer. So because between 1 and 2 we have the middle value as 1.5. All the values less than 1.5 will be rounded up to 1, and all the values which are equal to and greater than 1.5 will be rounded up to 2. So this is the purpose of using a quantizer, which rounds up the values of the amplitudes into its nearest integer form. So the output of a Q level quantizer can be represented as XQ of NTS. Then we have a binary encoder, which is also a digitizer. So this binary encoder, the input of this binary encoder is the quantized values. So at the input of this binary encoder, we have the amplitudes of the samples which are present in the digital form. That is, they may be from starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So they are in digital form, but they are not in binary form. So binary form means the output should be in terms of ones and zeros. So these sample values are passed through a binary encoder. So this binary encoder converts each sample value into its binary form. Suppose one of the value is 2. If 2 is given as input to the binary encoder, so output of the binary encoder 2 is converted into its binary form. So in binary form 2 can be represented as 1 and 1 0. So at the output of the binary encoder, the digitized values are converted into their equivalent binary form. So you can see many number of outputs are coming from the binary encoder. These are the values of each samples. Then we have a parallel to serial converter. So as the output of the binary encoder is in parallel form, you can see many number of inputs are there. So this is a parallel input. So for transmission we need output in serial form. So these parallel inputs are converted into the serial form by using this block, which is the parallel to serial converter. So at the output of parallel to serial converter, we have a stream of bits which are as ones and zeros. This is the required pulse code modulated output. So in addition to this, we have another block here, which is the timer, which is to provide synchronization between the various blocks in this PCM generator. So the input, we have another input here, which is the oscillator signal, which is tuned to a frequency according to the Nyquist rate. So this is the formula for the Nyquist rate. Fs is greater than or equal to 2 omega. Here Fs is the sampling frequency and omega is the highest frequency present in the signal. So this is the block of a pulse code modulation generator, at the output of which we get a single stream of ones and zeros, which is the pulse code modulated output. So you can see the same thing, it is mentioned here. This is the Nyquist frequency. Fs is greater than or equal to 2 omega. So this is the sampling frequency and omega is the highest frequency present in the signal. So output of sample and hold, we represented it as x of nts. Output of quantizer is xq of nts. So these are the rounded values. Then encoder is present, which converts each sample into its corresponding binary code. This is the block diagram of PCM demodulation. So the input of a demodulator is the output coming from the modulator. So as the PCM is just transmitted into free space, there is lot of noise which contaminates the signal. So the input of the PCM demodulator is a PCM signal which has noise also present in it. So this is the input to the first block, which is the comparator. Then we have a serial to parallel converter, a decoder block, again a sample and hold circuit, and finally we have a low pass filter. And at the output of the low pass filter, the original analog signal is obtained. Here also we have a clock signal, which is to provide synchronization between the blocks of the demodulation circuit. So during transmission, the signal is transmitted simply into free space, so there is a lot of noise which attacks the PCM signal. So this, we have the first block, that is the comparator. It removes some of the noise present in the signal. After, at the output of the comparator, we have a serial signal which is in the form of ones and zeros. So this is a serial signal. Again, it is to be converted to a parallel signal. So we use this block known as a serial to parallel converter. So at the output of the serial to parallel converter, we have the samples which are in binary form of ones and zeros. Next, this signal is passed through a decoder. So this decoder converts the ones and zeros into the corresponding digital form, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So this signal has a lot of high frequency harmonics. So this output of the serial to parallel converter is passed through a low pass filter. to remove the unwanted signal, which is the noise. So at the output of the low pass filter, we have the original analog signal, which was the input to the PCM modulator. So this is all about the PCM modulation and demodulation. So we'll see some of the advantages of PCM transmission or modulation. So these are some of the advantages. The signal to noise ratio is constant because we are digitizing the analog signal. So multiplexing also is possible. We can transmit many number of signals through the same channel, which is the process of multiplexing. This can be done in PCM modulation. So there is no interference in the signal, and there is also very less crosstalk. That means most of the noise is avoided since it is the digital modulation technique. So direct acquisition and processing of the received signal can be transmitted to a PC, which can be stored in digital form. So these are some of the advantages of PCM. This is convenient for long distance communication. It has a higher transmission efficiency and a higher noise immunity. So these are few advantages of pulse code modulation. These are some of the disadvantages of pulse code modulation. So the PCM requires large bandwidth as compared to the analog signal. By large bandwidth, you can see this, what is the disadvantage. So here if you see, each and every sample which is converted into samples is converted into its binary equivalent. That means every sample which is sampled by the sample and hold circuit is digitized, then it is converted into its binary form. That is one of the disadvantages. Due to this, it requires a large bandwidth. Another disadvantage is the encoding, the decoding and the quantizing circuit is very complex. So since the circuit is complex, it also requires a higher cost. So these are a few disadvantages of pulse code modulation. I hope I am clear. Thank you.